Bruno Pereira was an environmental defender on the front line, working with Indigenous people, and Dom Phillips was a war correspondent in this undeclared conflict over nature. Dom Phillips was a very fine journalist who'd been based in Brazil for 15 years, but he really came into his own, I think, in the last 5 years when he turned his attention to environmental issues, and in particular, the rainforest, the Amazon. He cared very passionately about it. He was very concerned about deforestation, and he became very aware of the importance of Indigenous people in protecting the rainforest. Bruno Pereira, an expert on Indigenous issues, and in particular on remote, isolated tribes deep in the Amazon. And it was because of this work that he was threatened with death. The two men met when Dom Phillips went on a reporting trip in the Javari Valley in 2018. You can see how close the two men were in footage from their 2018 trip, which was captured by the photographer Gary Colton. Bruno Pereira was loved by the Indigenous communities in the Javari Valley. And it was because of that that Dom was welcomed to go and report on it. And it's clear just how much they cared when you look at the huge efforts that Indigenous people made in the search. And it was the Indigenous search teams that made the breakthrough and found the first pieces of clothing that eventually led to the discovery of the bodies. These aren't isolated cases in faraway places. When you join all of the conflicts together in places like the Javari Valley, but also in places like the Philippines or places like the Congo, you can see that there is a global war against nature. Hundreds of environmental defenders are killed every year, and many journalists are threatened and occasionally killed in trying to cover that conflict. I hope the legacy of their work will be to shine a light on environmental defenders and those on the front line.
Marina Wakenade